Seriously, I don't. Wait, actually, start over.
We don't have to start over. I'll just cut it out. Go ahead. I'm not gonna cut this out.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have to look up a joke, so you keep
Okay.
going.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll tell a little story. I'll tell a little story. To this week, I saw one of my professors, from 2 semesters ago, I believe. Good guy. I won't say his name just to keep the innocent protected. But I saw him, right? And I was like, hey, how's it going? And I told him my name to jog his memory, and he was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. And I was like, yeah, cool. We talked a little bit, and he said, yeah, you've lost weight. And
What?
Yeah, he said I had lost weight. And I said, thank you. You look great, too, just to, keep up conversation. But, thinking about it, so that means either A, I was a larger man than I used to be, and I just lost the weight and didn't know it, or B, he's confusing me with someone else. And truthfully, I don't know which one is more offensive.
Well, what were you wearing when he...
I was wearing a suit.
And when he saw you before?
Wait, what? Oh, when he saw me before, I was just wearing, jeans, sweatshirt. Just, simple stuff.
Okay, cool.
Is that a Greek prime minister?
So, I was going to open up the episode by being like, yeah, no, seriously, though. Greece's economy has been downhill ever since Pavlopoulos got into power. I will stand by that.
Hi, welcome back to the Idiot Battalion podcast, where we talk about shit we clearly know nothing about.
I know plenty about Greek economics.
Okay, tell me.
Things are rough right now.
They're bad. I had to Google how to spell Israel for the last episode, just to show you guys how much I know things.
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah.
That is correct. And I know that now because I Googled it.
Whoa, hey, wow, hey, whoa.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
I got a big shot. Whoa, hey.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do for this podcast, we're gonna have a little theme. We're not scripted or anything. That would kind of take the point. Whatever. All right. Okay, I was bored at work. All right, so I just started writing out a list of things I used to do as a kid, and just stuff that I really liked. And I think the reason that I kind of came up with that, and the reason that I asked Henry if we could do this episode of the podcast, was because I feel more like an adult than ever. Henry and I both started jobs this week, and believe me, love the job I have. It's a great opportunity. The people I work with are really great, and I really like the stuff that I do. But I'm feeling more like an adult than ever, you know? I mean, I wear a suit to work. I exercise regularly. I went grocery shopping the other day. I was like, what the fuck happened to me? I used to be cool, you know? I used to stay up late, eat ramen, watch the Ninja Turtles. I mean, I still do all of those things.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Okay, the point is, I want to dive into the deep of nostalgia before I have to say goodbye forever and be an adult. So can you indulge me, please?
I never said I wouldn't.
Actually, that's true. You agreed wholeheartedly. Okay, so I was on the bus, because I take the bus now. That's how much of an adult I am. And I just started writing down things that I remember from I was being as a kid. So, I mean, and feel free to pop in, and this is just a natural,
No, I'll just chill if you want to take this one.
I'll just talk.
No, you got it. I'll just be here for support.
All right. Henry's gonna leave the room actually.
Yep. All right. Okay. Bye, everybody. It was a good episode. I will see you guys next week. Okay.
Wait, don't actually leave though.
All right.
Okay.
I'll call you tomorrow. Okay.
All right. See you later,
see
dude.
Ya.
It's just me. I mean, there was some stuff Henry and I did together on here that I was hoping we could talk about, but I guess I can just do it alone. That's okay too. I mean that's all right. I understand.
Idiot Battalion podcast followers, be cool. I am currently in the vents above Lem's room. He doesn't know I'm here.
I can just go down the list. It's okay.
But I'm going to spy on him.
I'm just glad that you and I, viewer, had this time together.
Viewer, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I just made me feel so special.
No, he's lying. He'll never make you feel special. I'll take you out to dinner. Name your favorite spot.
I want you to.
Arby's? Yeah, I'll take you there.
I want you to understand that,
Buffalo Wild Wings? No, he's not going to be there for you. He's always somewhere else.
You can't see, but I'm moving my eyebrows up and down in a way that's
Okay, his eyebrows are very sensual. Don't look into the light.
All right, let's go down this list.
Ah!
Oh shit, Henry! When did you get here, dick fuck?
I'd rather not say.
All right, do you want to go down the list with me then?
I guess now that I ruined your vent, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to call someone about that. Okay, let's just okay. Tell you what, let's start down with something that I put a little star by, because it's something that is a part of a lot of other people's nostalgia. That it is truthfully wasn't a big part of you and I's nostalgia, but we've recently been getting into it.
Yeah.
I bought a little collector's item. That's the complete works of the legendary Japanese director Hayao Miyazaki. And we've just kind of been going through those movies, and it's been a very good time. A lot of people, whenever I bring that up to people, they'll tell me about, like, oh man, I used to love Spirited Away and Castle in the Sky, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro. Like, yeah, I love those movies. I had never seen any of them.
I was in the same boat. I had only seen Ponyo,
Oh yes, I had seen that one actually.
and that was the only one I had ever seen. So yeah, I was also in need of some education.
So I bought the set, and I mean they're great movies, right? We haven't watched all of them yet.
Nope.
We've watched like 2 or 3.
Yep.
And I think there's 11. I'm a sleepy person, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hayao Miyazaki movies are typically longer than the normal animated movie. Most animated movies are like 90 minutes feature length. Hayao Miyazaki movies are usually hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours long, 2 hours and 10 minutes. That kind of like stretch into that realm.
Yeah, they're feature length. Yeah.
So like, and I'm not saying that they're boring, but the Hayao Miyazaki movies are a lot like Samurai Jack episodes. I think is the way I want to quantify it.
It's a good
is
description.
that and truthfully, it's something I appreciate about the movies is that they are a slow build. It starts out very quiet, or it can start out very quiet, and it just kind of builds and takes its time.
Yeah, they don't really push the story. They let you kind of absorb like the scenery, like the characters, everything, and really let it sit.
Like if they wanted to, they definitely could push each of those movies into a 90-minute runtime, but they choose not to. They let things sit, which I really appreciate. It's very relaxing, and they're beautiful movies. So we love watching them. I think the first one, Henry, you and I watched together was My Neighbor Totoro. Is that correct?
Yep, that is 100% correct.
Ironically, the shortest of his movies. That one is
Was it actually? I didn't
one's
know
90
that.
minutes. Yep.
Wow.
90 minutes.
I didn't know that was the shortest one. That was a blast, though. I really enjoyed that movie. We had fun talking about the odd dad who
It's like bathing with his kids.
He also said, "Oh, if you're scared of something, just laugh at it.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work."
Armed robbery.
Haha, you don't scare me.
Pop, pop. Oh!
My leg, it hurts, but I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Yeah. But it is a delightful movie. It's a very good time.
It is, yeah.
And immediately after that, we started watching Princess Mononoke, which, as many of you may know, viewer, it's a vastly different tone. We weren't expecting. It came out of the blue. We were watching and having a good time.
As all of one of you knows, all of our viewer, is surely aware. But
had they seen the movie?
Yeah, Princess Mononoke is vastly darker than My Neighbor Totoro.
I believe in the first. I don't think it's like 20 minutes. I don't think it's that early. But in the movie, within the first third of the movie, he shoots an arrow and it just straight up takes a guy's head off. Like, whole.
Yeah, and you like it doesn't hold back. You see it.
There's blood.
And it just mauls off another guy's arm with an arrow, and like he wasn't trying to, but you have to know why. You have to see the movie. But
it was I think we both screamed. We were like, what's happening?
Because we're like, oh, this will like make him fall off his horse or something. And then because we had just watched My Neighbor Totoro, where like they wait at a bus station in the rain and like smile at each other.
Adorable film.
And it's super cute. And then this guy shoots an arrow, head pops, and it squirted blood, and we were just like, what the heck?
Dude is full dead now. He's dead. That's it.
You think Kevin will be alright?
No. No, that was stressful. That was a little rough. We didn't get to finish that one. We finished it later on, But yeah, that was a really good movie. I liked that one a lot, actually. Princess Mononoke.
That one was very fun. I liked that one too. It had a cool ending. I liked kind of how it all kind of ended and whatnot. But yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki's movies have a very like nature oriented theme. A lot of like Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, My Neighbor Totoro. A lot of it has kind of like a nature oriented vibe where like the kind of the moral of the story is and just kind of don't fuck with nature because nature will fuck with you. Like,
Yeah, Ponyo was like that too. Like every scene with like water was filthy and dirty and littered, and it really makes you think. Yeah.
And that was nice, but we hadn't seen any of those, so it's really good to get back into those. I watched Spirited Away. Were you with me when I saw it?
I was with you with Spirited Away. I don't know which ones you watched without me though.
I think the ones I watched without you was his first one, Lupin the Third, and the Castle of Cagliostro, which apparently is based off a manga. I did not know that, but it was a very fun movie. I liked it a lot. And what was the other one? Not Porco Rosso. Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky. I liked that one a lot.
Did you watch that one with
yeah, my friend Becca.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like I told her I had the set of DVDs, but I hadn't seen Castle in the Sky. She was like, "Oh, fucking bet!" And like immediately that night we were like, "Okay, cool," and we started watching it. Very good friend. Tell you what, we're gonna talk about something that's a little close to both of our hearts. I think I'm gonna point to it so Henry knows what I'm saying, just so he can get in the right mental mindset. So this is a part of my long-standing childhood. I think this is a little bit more recent for Henry in terms of like high school. I, as a kid, I loved this game. Right, it was called Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I loved that game. It was a lot of fun. And in high school, was it our senior year?
Yeah, we started senior year.
Last year, Henry and I was like, hey, let's play this game. I remember when I was a kid. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do it. I have never, how do I quantify this? I've never felt more betrayed in my entire life.
It was kind of like as if your mother, your birth mother, who you knew was your mother your whole life, slapped you across the face and then said, "You're on Pranked with Ashton Kutcher," and she was just an actress this whole time.
Like you got full on Truman Showed.
It was pretty dang close to that.
That game sucks. I hate that game. God damn it.
Lev gave it a nickname.
I gave it a nickname. I called it Sonic Adventure 2 Battling My Inner Demons because it made me reflective of everything I'd ever known.
There were times where we would sit down and play that game for hours on end, and we would be screaming and we would be saying, "We're not leaving. We're close it, lock the door. We're not leaving until this level is finished."
Oh my god. It wasn't I had a good time with you, good friend.
Yeah, we bonded.
Yes, we bonded. That said, I never want to touch that game again, and I hated it so much. I despise that time and thinking about it. I've never been more... I loved Sonic as a kid. Not even just that game. I loved Sonic. Like, we're in... Okay, let me back up a little bit here. Where Henry and I are recording right now, in and of itself, it's kind of a walk down memory lane for us. There's a storage room in my childhood home that I turned into an office. I just like literally gutted it and just like cleaned up the floors, and I just like put in a desk, and I'm like, this is my office now, and like no one stopped me, so this is just like my little office, and I've got like a rug and everything, and it's all adorable. There's like posters up from when I was a kid. There's Sonic posters. There's
cobwebs.
It's pretty old.
There's dust.
It's pretty gross in here. But, you know, this is my little space, and this is where we played the game. I remember it. I was sitting here.
I was sitting here.
Sitting there. I looked up at one of the posters that I had up as a kid, right? And I saw Sonic, and he was smiling at me, and he was like, "Yeah, go get it, buddy." I wanted to fucking kill him. I wanted to tear that poster down. Oh my god.
But then you got a tattoo of it on your face, so you could always stay humble. Every time you see it in the mirror, you're like, "This is where I came from. These are my roots."
There is an end, as there is always a beginning. Life is nothing but a cycle. It will begin anew.
a Green Hill Zone cycle where you run through the loop and then you say, "Chili dog."
Yeah, essentially. So that wasn't fun, but I kind of split up the list that we have out in front of us into things that holds up and things that don't hold up.
And that
does not hold up.
Nuts.
I loved that game as a kid.
Are you sure?
Yes, I actually do remember that. I remember telling people that Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is my favorite game. I told people that.
I was always a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen take California GameCube guy.
I remember seeing that game at your house.
It kind of revolutionized gaming. All the top gamers talk about it, how it was a pivotal game for their lives.
A lot of people talk about Super Mario 64 or like Ocarina of Time, but really, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen take on California or whatever. That's the big one.
They pushed boundaries. They had Jeep races in the game. So I don't know if you Jeep races.
I don't think you heard me correctly.
Name another game that has racing carts.
I can't.
Yeah,
There are none.
Honestly.
Okay, let's move on to. Hang on. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, let's move on. This is another thing that Henry and I that was in our childhood, but we never really got into it until we were a little older. Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think Henry's tale with this show is a little more interesting than mine. So take it away, Kippers.
My tale is more interesting? Oh, all right, cool. I didn't. Yeah. Hey.
I'm surprised you think that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I have an interesting past. Well, it was probably junior. No, it was senior year. Senior year of high school as well. Everything changed, but Lem bought the complete series of Avatar: The Last Airbender on DVD, and I, as a child, when that show was on TV, I never watched it. I don't think you really did either. I don't know why. I just honestly was like, oh, whatever. I no. And then Lem's like, let's watch it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. It snuck in, and I say it snuck in because I had watched so many other shows growing up, but it snuck in to be one of my favorites. It's just a joy. It's just, I don't know how else to describe it. And we binged that over the summer. We watched it so quick, and it was just so incredible and so awesome. It's just a very well done show.
Love the characters, love the environment. I love the powers that they have. Just everything about that show. There's nothing about that show that I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. Like I'm always, I mean, I'm sure if I like thought hard enough I could think of something, but like pretty much everything about that show was like, oh hell yeah.
And truthfully, that show so far, once again, has probably one of the best character arcs like I've ever seen in a television show before. Zuko.
That man.
How his character grows and develops is amazing. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Absolutely. No, I didn't watch it as a kid because I don't know if you had a reason. But
I more or less like,
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it as a kid, and I honestly hated it as a kid because my sister liked it, and I was like, if my sister likes it, then it must suck. There was so many things that I missed out on as a kid just out of malice for my sister, just hatred.
My sister likes to breathe.
Nah, son. We're giving up on
Not
that
going
shit.
down like that.
I'm gonna put their ass in the dirt. That show is fucking, like, I've seen that series like 3 or 4 times now. Like, me and my sister watched it together. I think last summer, her and I, or no, not last summer because I haven't seen it. Or you and I saw it for the first time. I think recently. I don't remember when, but I don't know if you guys. Well, no, you didn't see. Henry trying to cop a feel. All right, I'm a grown boy.
I don't know if you guys saw through your computers.
I don't know if
you were listening.
I don't know if you guys had sight beyond sight given by the Thundercat sword, but hope. I didn't watch Thundercats as a kid, so that's not going to be on the list. Me and my sister watched Avatar: The Last Airbender together, and we watched it in pretty much exactly 3 days. Like book 1, book 2, book 3, day 1, day 2, day 3.
That's awesome.
We binged that whole. We binged
That's so
that
much
bitch.
fun. That's awesome.
And it was amazing. I love that show. And then Korra kind of sucks, but
But that also wasn't our childhood, so we're not talking about it.
no, it wasn't. It's crazy to think how much stuff like from our childhoods isn't even really from our childhoods that we've only gotten into recently. Like both of those things we just mentioned were last year.
Yeah, within a year. That's very true. Like, I met my birth parents within the last year too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was childhood.
That was pretty big.
I learned how to ride a bike last year.
I finally finished the 3rd grade last year.
I'm growing up. Okay, here's something that's nostalgic. So Lem and I, this might come as a shocker to you, but growing up, I had all friend Lem, and he had all friend Henry. That was
Say it ain't so. Lem and Henry were unpopular?
what? For some reason, our charm and wittiness just wasn't quite connecting with the other kids. Also, we were just the worst.
We were lame. We were pretty lame.
But literally, like, legitimately, Lem was the only person I would hang out with outside of school. Like, I didn't hang out, like, we talked to other kids, obviously, but, like, we didn't, like, hang out with any other kids.
I had a piece of duct tape over my mouth, and I was like, if you're not Henry, piss off.
I refuse. Piss off, wanka. Lem was also British growing up. It was so crazy. He kind of just outgrew it. I don't know what happened, but
Piss off.
oh, it comes back. It comes back every now and then.
A little bit.
But during recess, this is like 5th grade. Lem and I used to just always everybody else would be on the playground or doing something, play basketball, whatever, or going to the gymnasium or whatever. Lem and I would always go farthest reaches of like Misfit Island, like to the side of this playground,
As far
and play
as they would let us.
literally as far as you can go. And there was a lonely there was like 2 lonely tetherball poles.
Yeah.
Lem and I would play tetherball, and it was so much fun. We would literally, and sometimes we wouldn't even play. We would just like hit it back and forth and talk.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that because like I remember like we didn't even know how to play the game, so
No.
that was all we did at the start. We were
Yeah.
literally just like pushing it back and forth, and we were like, "This is stupid."
I remember that though. Like we would just like chill and talk, like literally like this, just play tetherball.
And to think we could have had 30 people listening to us back then.
Can you imagine that? Like 30 people gathered around a tetherball pole is like we talk about the best episodes of like Animaniacs.
Who are you people? Oh god. Hey, let's talk about that.
Animaniacs?
Yeah, unless like, do you want to keep going on the tetherball?
No, that's fine. That's
'Cause,
fine.
like,
That's fine.
The only thing I remember else about the tetherball thing was that we truthfully didn't know the rules, so we just called it. We either called it Lem Ball or Henry Ball, depending on the day.
I don't. Yeah.
Just like I make the rules now, and then I was like, I
Dude,
make the
yeah.
rules. And they were always stupid bullshit rules.
Literally to help the person who was in favor that day. That's so true. I totally forgot we made up the rules too. You're right.
Oh god, that was fun. Oh wow.
Why does all our childhood in high school though? Because Animaniacs was middle school. That was middle school.
Animaniacs was middle school.
So that's still
Was
childhood.
did that creep into elementary school? No, it
Nope.
couldn't have.
Nope.
Because we didn't have money.
It was 6th grade. I think it was 6th or 7th grade.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, for those in the uninitiated, Animaniacs is a fantastic animated show from actually that. Okay, this is another weird thing. That shouldn't even be a part of our childhoods. That was way before our time.
No, it was on. Reruns were on when we were kids.
Really?
My mom said it used to be on TV when I was a wee lad.
I don't remember that. That's interesting.
Yeah, just reruns.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, it was late 90s.
Yeah, it was late 90s. I think the show started in 95. I think it was a really good animated show that was basically like a 90s versions of the Looney Tunes basically. Like they were just kind of updated, but they were different characters. The Animaniacs were composed of
Yakko,
Wacko Warner, and then
and
Dot.
Dot.
It was the Warner brothers and then their sister Dot, and they just went into wacky adventures and they made friends along the way.
It was just shenanigans and hijinks, but it was.
so good.
When I think of like the word cartoon, that is the first thing I think of. Like that is like the epitome of a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a very good show. And the way Henry and I got into it, or at least the way I got into it, I didn't know that they did reruns, or I just never saw the reruns, was that, well, I guess there was one rerun that I saw. It was of the TV special, the TV movie they had, Wacko's Wish.
Mm-hmm.
They would play that sometimes on Cartoon Network, and I was like, I gotta learn more about these Animaniac fellers. Huh? This is kind of kooky. And they had the DVDs on Amazon. so I paid my mom to buy them for me. and we watched them. And like what we would do basically is every time Henry and I would have a sleepover, like the other person would bring over their DVDs, and we would just like make a list of like the best episodes, and we would just go down the list.
Yeah, because like we used to be like, okay, we'll watch all of it, and then like some shows we'd be like, nah, just pick the best ones.
Right.
So we would each watch it like individually, make a list for the other person, and then on sleepover night I'd be like, okay man, so I did my report, I did my research, so these are the best 6 episodes of Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 1, and so we gotta watch these ones, and then Lem would come to my house and be like, yep, so these are the best episodes of Animaniacs, we gotta watch these ones.
Wow, we kind of sucked in
So,
middle school. I'm thinking now.
And then really quick side note, I was talking to some people, like, recently, and they were all like, oh, yeah, I got my first kiss, like, I went to parties, like, in middle school, and, like, I got my first kiss in middle school, and I was like, yo, I got my first kiss in high school, like, late high school.
Yes, as did I.
And, like, that was, like, so, like, weird to think, like, people were going to parties, like, played Spin the Bottle in middle school, we're like, seriously though, this is the best episode of Angry Beavers. And like
it's all, oh my god, it's weird to think about that. I like oh wow. Oh, we sucked. Oh my good thing that's over.
Yeah, we're
cool now.
We are seriously, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, we do it all.
Mm-hmm. Henry and I actually did a line right before this podcast, so if
I'm
wired.
It was a conga line. It was kind of crazy. We didn't know the strangers in Lem's house, but we're like, when in Rome.
It was so awesome. And then I shot up some heroin. Next thing on the list, unless Henry, you got something else?
I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Have a great day. Boop.
My number is 651-651-6511.
65.
Oh, you know what? We can talk about this. I brought this up earlier today to someone, actually. It's my 4th grade lady love.
Oh.
I'm okay with bringing this up. I mean, I'm not going to say her name.
I'll let you tell it, and then I'm going to say my thing. Okay.
Is there... hang on, what's your... Okay,
mine's kind of a bombshell, so I want to wait till you're done.
Okay. Well, now I'm a little nervous. Okay.
Just go.
So in the 4th grade, I met the love of my life. To protect her, let's call her Veronica, like Betty and Veronica from the Archie comics.
Yeah, and
Let's call her that.
well, actually, Riverdale.
Yes. You know what? Let's call her Riverdale.
Yeah.
All right. Her name was Riverdale, and we called her Dale for short. It was like a 4th grade thing, you know? So, like, we were, quote-unquote, dating, but it was the 4th grade, so it didn't actually mean shit.
You guys sat next to... I remember I'd walk by the class... I wasn't in the same class, but I'd walk by, and I'd see Lem sitting next to her, I'd be like, okay.
Go get it, Lem. That Dale's a wily one.
I thought I was, being replaced, but...
Henry!
And that's why I drove a wedge into your relationship. And that's why I had to end the relationship.
And that's why she divorced you.
Alright, you should finish, though. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. Am I boring you? And his phone just went off.
Just a little bit.
Bullshit. This podcast is over. No more childhood.
Oh my god.
What?
Lem.
Yes?
The governor's dead.
Should we...
You...
Do we keep
What do we do
let's
now,
stop the
Mr.
recording.
Governor? All hail, Chief.
Henry, get a pen. There's going to be some changes around here. First decree.
Wait, sorry, the pen was dead. Is pencil cool? I have a pencil in my pocket.
Pen is preferable, but pencil works.
We'll cool.
Put it down on pen later.
Got it, okay.
Okay, first decree. Marijuana is no longer illegal. You fucking drifts who blocked its legalization are now banished from the land!
Okay, governor of the state of Minnesota. So, like, you have, like, power, you know, right? Like, you can order people to, like, outlaw pencils maybe in Minnesota.
Ultimate power, I understand, of the world, yes.
Yeah, no, so, like, It's pretty similar to that. Like I'm pretty sure you get like free tickets to the state fair.
Excellent.
So like, it's like really similar.
Got it. Okay. I think I'm catching your drift here.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Decree number 2.
Oh, okay.
There will be.
Pencil broke. I'm just gonna.
You just remember it.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll listen. Yep.
Focused.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Decree number 2. There will be no more pollution or ocean dumpage. From now on, we will all travel in tubes.
Yeah, no, I like that one. It's practical. So like, I guess so like, is it like tubes like hamsters, or is it like tubes that like will shoot us off into the sky? Like what is it? Is it like?
I'm sorry. Do I look like a scientist to you? I don't know. Get the scientists working on the tube technology.
Okay. Yep.
Chop,
Yep.
skip.
Idea man. Got it. Yep. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Yep. I will.
Decree number 3.
Fax that right now. It's scanning. It's scanning. Oh, it
All right.
it's bleeding. Oh, okay. Just gonna.
All right, don't worry about that. Forget it.
Okay.
I want your soul. All right, pass, forget it. We'll deal with. Cross that bridge when we to it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Third decree.
Yeah, we got 3.
There will be no more rich people or poor people. From now on, we will all be the same. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that one.
We're all the same in line at Chipotle. There's no more waiting.
That's. Yes, thank you. That correct.
I just so Mr. Governor, does that like apply to weekends too? Cause like, I don't know, being in the, I mean, just speaking from my little soapbox, you know, I don't mind being poor, but like you know, sometimes I can really appreciate it on the weekends. I don't know, I can sit around and be like, you know what, life is still okay.
I completely understand where you're coming from. Fourth decree.
Oh yeah, I just as you recall, my pencil broke after decree 2. I only have so much like memory space in my head, you know? Like I just, so like
3 gigabytes.
I have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song,
It's pivotal.
my mom's birthday,
It's not
and decree number 3. So I just, do you maybe have like a pen or a pencil or ooh, there's a crayon on the bottom of here it is. Okay, so I stepped on a crayon at my nephew's house earlier today and we got it. It's green.
That's
Is that
extremely impressive that it has remained on the bottom of your foot all the way from your nephew's house.
I walk on my toes to build up calf muscles.
Can I just say, it's doing you wonders. You look amazing.
Oh my god, I honestly thought you hadn't noticed. I'm okay.
Of course I noticed.
Stop. I'm blushing. Let's please, Mr. Governor.
All right, fourth decree. No more governor assistants.
Mr. Governor,
That's Mr. Governor to you. Get the fuck out of my office.
I thought this was real. What our relationship, what we had between us. The connection was strong. No. You know what? I have a decree. Decree number 5. Love is dead.
Alright, so I'm just going to assume that you did that whole thing for like emotional dissonance. Like you wanted it to have an impact. Just know that you can't actually make decrees. That's just a governor thing. I want that to be clear.
Can I make statements?
I mean, you can talk. You just won't mean anything. Which is pretty much like before, so I mean, no downgrade. Well, I mean, significant downgrade. You're out of a job. But you can still talk. Hasn't been an impact.
I just
Actually,
want to.
you know what? 6th decree. You can't talk.
No, but you fired me, so
No, but you specifically can't talk. So that's 30 years in the dungeon, actually.
That's
another 5.
We rented out the dungeon
10.
to Iowa. We don't have the dungeon.
Right. I rented out the dungeon to Iowa because I'm
No,
the governor.
I did because I do all your work, and you are just a puppet who sleeps on his desk, drunk and lazy. You know what? Statement number 1 from public citizen who now has no job. Love is dead.
It's the same thing as decree number 5.
Good. So it is a decree.
Aha! Alright, that was a fun bit.
That went on far longer than I thought it would.
But I'll see how that one works out in editing. I don't know how much of that was gonna end up on the cutting room floor.
Why not?
Oh wait, we numbered the decree, so it wouldn't even make sense.
What do you mean?
Like if I cut out like decree number 4, decree number 5.
I got you.
No,
So I guess we have to keep all of it.
Oh,
Oh no. You were telling us about your 4th grade girlfriend though.
Was I? Okay.
You totally were.
Okay,
Oh.
long story short, girlfriend in 4th grade. We didn't technically break up. In high school, we didn't, because I didn't know how to. What am I gonna do?
Nothing. Keep going.
Seeing different people.
I forgot that part of the story.
In high school, my sister called me, and she was like, "Hey, you know that girl that you used to date in the 4th grade?" I was like, "Yeah, Veronica, the first love of my life. How could I forget her?" And then she said, "Yeah, she's pregnant." And I was like, "What? I'm gonna be a father?" But I was ready, dude. I was.
So, and then Lem told me, I was with you actually when that phone call happened.
We went to go see
With
Zootopia.
Zootopia. That was fun. In the movie theater right before Zootopia, Lem found out he was a dad.
Mm-hmm.
But so immediately I went to research, I went to work, I was like, okay, how can I help my friend out? So I looked it up, and amazingly enough, and this is true, 100% true, you could take this to your doctor, this is true. I cannot express, like, how accurate this information is, but, like, apparently sperm can procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was a characteristic trait of sperm, but they legitimately will just sometimes wait around outside the egg and, like, read newspapers or, like, watch TV shows they were meaning to watch, and, like, they'll just chill. So Lem's sperm, it's just very possible it waited for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. So my sperm was now active. It had reached the part it was supposed to go to. I didn't pay attention during sex ed, and
The earlobe.
it had finally made it to the rectal cavity. So I was very
Back molars.
the back molars. But I was ready. I was ready to be a father. This is where the term "daddy up" comes from. I made up that term when I realized that I had to be a father. I was ready to daddy up. I was ready, you know? I was like, yes. And finally, a purpose. I'm gonna be a dad, you know? I was smiling. It was great. And on Facebook, I saw a picture of her and the baby. And it wasn't black. Like, not even a little, you know? So I guess at first I was confused.
I'm making a sympathetic face for those of you who aren't around.
It's very
but
sympathetic, and I appreciate it. So apparently my 4th grade girlfriend had cheated on me in the 8 years that we were apart. So
okay, this is so corporate, so, like, commercialized. I'm so sorry. I'm a sellout, and I apologize, but the movie about the story is coming out next year. You guys, Lem and I were both on the production team for this, and I'm sorry. It's a love story for the ages. I really, really think you need to see it. It's called
How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World.
But the dragons are sperm, and the hidden world is the baby that was not black. And I mean, again, I'm sorry. This is just, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I shouldn't be, like, plugging ourselves here, but we got Will Smith in it. We have Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning is in it. She plays the baby.
She plays the baby.
It's outstanding. She we had to dress her up in a clear syrupy thing to simulate the birth. It was terrible.
We have Liam Neeson playing the sperm.
We have Tilda Swinton playing Tilda Swinton.
You wouldn't believe how pivotal she is in everyone's lives.
And truthfully, she just kind of showed up on the lot while we were filming, and we were like, hey Tilda, you want to be in the movie? And she just kind of made a bird noise, and we were like, we'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, and like it was. The only thing I had with Tilda was like I was like, oh hey Tilda, I really would appreciate if you would stop pooping like in random miscellaneous bird cages throughout the set.
Yes.
Like she would buy bird cages on Amazon and then poop in them and then just kind of like walk away.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah, I mean that part was kind of, I mean she's an actress, you know.
Yeah, I mean everybody has their
method.
Exactly. Everybody has their kind of performance method, so we were all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, again, she didn't read the lines so much as squawk at us, but
yeah, she let's go see the movie, all right? It's gonna it means a lot to me, and truthfully, all the profits are going towards me suing Veronica to get Dale is her name, I forgot. Suing Dale to get the rights to my unborn child. So we'll see how things turn out on that one.
yeah, you got to catch it in theaters next June to find out.
How to Train Your Dragon 3 Hidden World, see it with your family.
Henry, maybe just keep the family out of that one.
Henry, what else you got for childhood? Let's get
okay, I remember I feel like this is kind of a common childhood thing. I was scared of my basement. I didn't like going into the basement. And like we had like
I was scared of your basement too.
To be fair, I had an unfinished basement, so like it was we had like carpet, but we didn't have like finished walls. We had like just plaster still up and stuff like that, and like we had like furniture down there and stuff, so like it wasn't like uncomfortable, but like no, like it's
like,
no
dark
but all basements scare me. You can have like a fully furnished like cool basement, and I'm still kind of like
it feels like you're in the guts of the monster house.
Well,
you can hear everything that's
yeah,
happening.
and like I just remember like if I was downstairs alone, it was one of those things where like, okay, all the lights are off except for the one above me. I'm right in front of the stairs. I turn off the light and I speed up those stairs. Like it was record break. Usain Bolt would cry.
He's got
Like
nothing on you.
it was. I wouldn't look back. My brother could be trapped under there. He'd be like, "They got me." I'd be like, "Nope, it's a trap. Nope, not today, not today."
It's another illusion, and then you turn around and John disappears into dust, and then the monster's like right behind you. No. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was scared of your basement too.
Oh, so it was just my basement.
No, it wasn't just your basement. I was scared of my basement too. I don't know what it is about basements. They just like I feel like a basement can literally be like the brightest part of your house, and it'll still feel dark. Like it might be something about like even some basements like still have windows and stuff, but there's something about where a basement is and how you have to get to it in a house that just unsettles me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the the subconscious kind of part of it, where it's like I'm below something, I'm deep down. No one can hear me cry. Like I don't know if it's like that weird psychological part of it, but yeah, I always like I have a chronological fear of basements, and then that segues into my next chronological fear not chronological fear. Chronic. Not even chronic. It's not even a chronic fear. Well, did you have anything more to add on basements?
No.
Did you ever? We both had movies growing up that scarred us and really scared us.
Yep.
Do you want I can say mine first, or?
Absolutely.
The first movie that really scarred me and really, really, really screwed me up was Samuel L. Jackson's Snakes on a Plane. So here's the thing. I already dislike planes. I'm very, very, very afraid of heights. I'm still am to this day, but I'm very afraid of heights. And so my fear of planes was already pretty bad. And then, you know what would make that even better? The idea that hundreds and hundreds of snakes can get loose on a plane and ravage mayhem. It was horrible. I was so afraid after watching that movie. I was on TV and like I was home alone and I watched that movie and I was so afraid, but I was so paralyzed with fear that I couldn't change the channel and I would keep watching it through all the commercials and everything. And like I had to make a fortress around my bed for the next 2 years. I remember that.
Damn.
I was like 9 years old, and from like 9 years old to like 11 or 12 years old, I had like blankets over my headrest and I had like pillows around my bed, and I'm like, no, snakes would obviously be stopped by pillows and blankets, but it helped me sleep. So,
Of course.
but that was one movie that scared
I
me.
like to think that they were in the writers' room for that movie, and they were like, "All right, so Samuel L. Jackson, we got this movie. He's already on board. It's called On a Plane." It's like, all right, so it's just Samuel L. Jackson on a plane, right? And he gets into some wacky adventures. It's like, yeah. And then this one guy in the back who's kind of like the loose cannon's like, nah.
He's the guy. First of all, he's the guy who leans up. He like leans backwards and like puts his feet on the table, and wears
He's
sunglasses.
wearing sunglasses, a leather jacket, and he's like, "We need an edge." And everyone's like,
Everyone's
really, everyone's really corporate, and they're like, "Oh, what do you mean we need an edge? Axel?" Like,
And
Axel.
he's smoking too. Axel smokes, and he's just he has a toothpick or something. And he's like, one word. Snakes.
And everyone's like,
Say,
Axel, wait, this is unorthodox. There's never been snakes on a plane.
He slaps the table. Snakes on a plane.
Hey, you want to take this movie to the top? Put snakes on that bitch. And he just walks out of the room, and everyone's like, all right, put it in the movie.
Yeah. Not before, like, spray painting, like, Axel was here in the wall.
Every single word is misspelled, including his name.
He doesn't need to spell it right. He's too cool for that. He's so cool that people are like, nah.
Axel was her.
Yeah, but,
Oh, right, movies. A movie that I'm trying to think of more like traditional movie that scared me, because like I already didn't watch horror movies. Like horror movies, like that's a whole another thing with me. I like refuse to watch most horror movies. Like I watched all of Insidious Chapter 3 through my hat. Like I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, neither one of us are, yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of that thing as a kid. I mean, I was scared of like The Grudge and stuff, but like that was just it was unsettling. I didn't like that. Something that I think the word you were looking for was pathological fear.
Maybe.
A movie that scared me a lot as a kid, and like looking back on it now, I'm not even ashamed to be scared of it because it still is really creepy. Is Mike Myers in The Cat in the Hat? That motherfucker's weird. All right, they're scary. They look kooky, and they get into all sorts of adventures. And he makes dated references. I don't like it.
The references don't stand. Some movies make references that will last. This one did not.
No, and you know what? The thing that scared me a lot about that movie was the things in it, like Thing 1 and Thing 2.
They were straight up
Those motherfuckers
kooky.
were terrifying. I
They-
don't care what anyone says.
They were scary. Like, there is a personal space limit, and they somehow, even with a camera, they violated personal space.
Those motherfuckers were weird. Okay, here's the thing, right? Dr. Seuss is like, I mean, Dr. Seuss is obviously good stuff. Like, you read his stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, there was a lot of, like, passion and heart put behind the art and also the words in this book, right? But there are certain things that work in pictures and art that do not work in real life. Having upper lips in art is something you don't need because it's like, whatever, all right? It's a stylistic choice. Upper lips are kind of weird anyway.
Yeah.
You take that shit away in real life, you have a monster on your hands.
I agree. A Dr. Seuss movie is a bit of trouble. Sometimes you watch it and you feel like rubble. You'll watch and learn so many different things, but you'll never feel the ring-a-ding-ding.
Henry,
That was a direct excerpt from Oh the Places You'll Go.
Can I just say that you are a talent, and I'm so glad to be working with you.
Dude, oh my gosh. You guys, we are coming to you through this episode live in Seattle, our studio. I'm so upset. Like, I feel bad. This is my fault. We weren't supposed to be in the studio today, and Craig got us in the last second. I feel so bad, but he was such a sport about it. Craig, thank you. He's waving in the booth,
Craig.
but seriously. Anyways, no, this is a side note. So, my whole stance is, this is about Dr. Seuss, or not Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat.
Yes.
I didn't tell you this. I think it was literally yesterday. I was like, yeah, Mike Myers was in that movie. I was like, who else was in that movie? I actually looked up Cat in the Hat, the movie the other day.
Oh, really?
Yep. And, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean anything. I do sincerely believe that some movies, like, can have a, like, terrible Rotten Tomatoes score and be a great movie. I have a ton of movies that I love that are like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 50. Well, that's stupid. That being said,
baby.
that being said, It had a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's completely justified.
I just thought that was so funny that the Cat in the Hat movie had a 9%. Because we loved that movie as a kid. Like, I wasn't afraid of it, but we always watched it.
Something that I looked up recently, and I don't know why, but like, I mean, like, kind of the same reason you did that. Just like, I'll just like look up a movie and be like, I wonder who else was in that. I did that recently with the Barnyard movie, starring Kevin James. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Was he?
He was Otis.
Otis? I thought so. Okay.
He was the main cow. I thought there was a cow in that movie who was voiced by Pauly Shore. I first of all.
Wait, from Jersey Shore?
No, Pauly Shore, the like shitty '90s actor.
I was like, oh, I do remember Pauly Shore, but I was thinking of Paul Lee from Jersey Shore.
Is there a Pauly on Jersey Shore? I did not know that.
I'm gonna see if there's a Pauly on Jersey Shore to check my credibility, but I do know who you're talking about now.
Jersey Shore. The only people I know on Jersey Shore are Snooki and the guy who was always taking off his shirt. Those were
The Situation.
Right, that was his douchey name. I remember looking on Rotten Tomatoes to like see like who else was on. Well, not Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, but Rotten Tomatoes popped up. To like see who else was in that movie, and like I didn't realize how much people fucking hate that movie. Like, I still love that movie. I mean, like, it's probably just nostalgia. The Barnyard movie. Oh. It's got, like, a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of liked the movie as a kid. But I guess I haven't seen it recently, so I can't corroborate that.
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that where it's like, I mean, kind of like what we talked about in the earlier podcast. There's just some stuff that, like, in your head as a kid, it was, like, really cool. And, like, when you watch it today, it's like, the fuck is this?
Well, you have a different opinion than me, but like that's like the Jimmy Neutron movie.
Yes. Here's the thing. I don't think you and I really have a different opinion on that. The reason you think we have a different opinion on that is because you love that movie and you still love it to this day, right?
I do enjoy it.
Really
That's nostalgia in a nutshell.
I completely agree. I love that movie. That said, movie's fucking stupid.
Okay, that's fair. I never said it wasn't. I
love that movie. I love it. That said, that's a dumb fucking movie.
Okay, hold on. Just 1 second.
Yes.
The movie about a boy genius who gets aliens to abduct all the neighborhood parents, including his own, and then gets a ragtag group of kids to fly off into space to defeat the egg yolk aliens. You think that plot isn't surefire?
You know, Henry, when you say it out loud, it kind of makes me look silly.
Do you want me to remind you of the big chicken alien monster that almost ate everybody?
They do the chicken dance. I forgot. The Yokians make them do a chicken dance with mind control hats. Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Oscar nominated.
Yes, it was Oscar nominated. Here's the funny thing. We were talking about this recently. You and me and another person were just like going down the list of animated best movies like for the Oscars, and we were like almost wrong for each of them because I just assumed it would always go to Pixar. Shrek beat out Monsters, Inc. for the Oscar for best animated picture that year. And that was the first year that category... Wait, was that the first year?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the first year that category was created.
2001.
I truthfully do believe that. I think Shrek was the first winner, but like... And that's... Funny story, like, I don't know if... I'm sure people might be aware of this, but, like, this is not a joke. Truthfully, because Shrek won over Monsters, Inc., that's why they continue to keep making Shrek movies. They're like, this is popular. This is working. Let's milk this.
Right?
That's why they... Like, right? That's why they made them.
Essentially. And here's the thing. Alright, personal opinion time. The first Shrek movie, it's not that good. I like it, and... Like, I recognize that it's a good movie, and I really do like it. And I do think, like, in terms of animation, it's, like, a very big, like, stepping stone. But that said, when I guess after seeing a lot of other movies and a lot of other stuff, it kind of comes from a place of raw hatred for other Disney movies. Like, Jeff Katzenberg was with Disney, and then he went over to make DreamWorks, and that movie just, like, feels like it's made entirely out of malice, which kind of like leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And also, it's kind of just a basic rom-com when you look at it.
Yeah, you told me that. That's fair. I agree with like what you're saying. I think like I like the second Shrek better too. The second Shrek's fun.
So the second Shrek is like one of those. The second Shrek's a movie where like I can watch it over and over and never get sick of it.
It's fun. Accidentally in love. It's fun.
Accidentally.
I'm in love. I'm in love. It's fun.
It is a good movie. I like it.
Right on, right on.
If you didn't have anything else, I had, well, I guess two things that I wanted to close on. But if you got something else, go for it. Thank you. I'm trying to think about which one I want to bring up first. Actually, I'll point to them, and I'll cut this out, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I might as well just say it then if I'm gonna cut it out. I was gonna talk about the difference between the Ninja Turtles 2012 cartoon and the Ninja Turtles 1989 cartoon.
Sure.
And then I was gonna talk about Captain Underpants because we both really like Captain Underpants. So I think I'd say we talk about Ninja Turtles first.
I was gonna say I kind of want to finish like Captain Underpants. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're back. Whatever. I'll cut that out.
Got to cut that out too. Suck it, Future Lem. You'll be listening to this and you'll be like, ah.
No! That bastard!
I was making a smoothie today. Yeah, I make smoothies.
Oh shit.
I was making a smoothie.
You are an adult.
I was making a smoothie and I spilled it a little on the counter. I was home alone. No! I said it exactly like that. And I was like, oh.
Oh my god. Honestly, I love that. Like, I don't even know what to call it. It's not like a phrase. It's more like an exclamation. I love it. Just no. Okay. We're gonna
Save that for us. Don't, like, you don't think to keep it in there, but save it for us.
Oh, no. Okay, moving on. A big part of my childhood, which I think I've talked about on this podcast, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What?
I've always loved them.
Do you like them?
Shut up, whatever. Yes, I love the Ninja Turtles. They're all really cool. Donatello's the best. Fight me. I love the Ninja Turtles, and I always have. I grew up watching the 2003 cartoon, but I truthfully don't remember a lot of it, and there's no avenue I can think of where I can go back and watch them. Maybe like Kiss Cartoon, but whatever. So when the 2012 series came out, which is the most recent one, but they're coming out with another one.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a CGI animated show, and it was very good. I remember you and I watched the premiere over at your house.
Yeah. I totally remember that.
Very excited for it. Because I split this list down to like stuff that holds up and then stuff that doesn't. And on the side of stuff that holds up is a 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon. Because I'm watching that on Hulu right now, and it's still really good. Like the art style is beautiful, and like it's so fluid in its animation. I really like the characters. All the voice acting is great, and it just stylistically they make a lot of not changes necessarily, but a lot of interesting choices that I feel were all for the better. It's a very good series. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm not caught up, but the episodes that I've caught with Lem are, they're enjoyable. They are good. Absolutely.
I like them a lot. And in terms of being a Ninja Turtle fan, they cater to that without being too pandering, so I really appreciate it. And on the side of stuff that sucks now, is the original Ninja Turtles cartoon, which I didn't know this before I bought the fucking set. There was the 1989 cartoon of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was they had a set recently that came out with all 10 seasons of it. There were 10 fucking seasons, and it came in like the turtle van, which is like the little car that they used to drive. It was adorable, and I bought it when I was in middle school. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go back and see what the 1989 cartoon was like. Because if this was what the 2012 cartoon is like, then the 1989 cartoon must be really good. Because it's all based on that stuff. And also, it's lasted for this long, so it must be amazing, right?
I mean, Friends lasted for 10 seasons, and everyone loves Friends.
And Friends was consistently good the entire time. Everyone loves it. That's what I thought.
Exactly.
Fucking hate Friends.
Friends is the worst.
I fucking hate Friends.
I am not
That said, I have watched all 10 seasons.
That being said, I've seen every episode.
So yeah, I bought the 1989 cartoon. Contrary to popular belief, that show's fucking shit. That show's so stupid.
I remember one time you came over to our house and we tried to watch episodes, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it.
Dumb as hell. Oh my god, it's like Sonic Underground, but like I watched Sonic Underground when I was like 8, so I was like, oh cool, Sonic Underground. But like I saw the Ninja Turtles cartoon when I was like 13. So I was like, this is stupid. I don't care. Because it's like the 1980s, so like everything on TV was like, it was like an action show, but there wasn't any actual action. So like whenever they like had to like use their weapons, they would literally just throw them at other things, and then that would like solve the problem. That's what ninjas were. They would throw their weapons.
I remember the one episode we watched, like it was like this bad arcade lady or like arcade robot monster, and yeah, I think like Michelangelo like threw a nunchuck and she's like, ah, and like that won.
Foiled again. Oh my god, that show is so stupid. And like the thing with the 2012 cartoon is that it's like a, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? It's a series long show, right? Is like there's stories that last entire seasons, and it's like you're building up to the final season, right? It doesn't always feel like that, but it's like it's building up to the final season.
Yeah.
And like it's a lot like Avatar. It's like it's a continuous story.
There's like an overlying storyline, yeah.
Like things that happen in the past actually matter in the future. 1989
Mm-hmm.
cartoon ain't like that. Characters literally just pop up out of nowhere, and they're like, "You remember me, right?" And they're like, "Yes." And I'm like, I'm literally checking Wikipedia, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this bullshit? You didn't show up at all. Fuck you." I was so.
It's like it's just like a bad guy comes in. You remember me? I had the most interesting backstory ever, and it's totally cool and interesting. And the turtle's like, "You're right. It is super cool, and we do love it."
Moving on. But since we all know it, there's no reason to go back and talk about it.
And then they all look at the screen and break the fourth wall, and then they continue.
Oh my god, that show is fucking stupid. I mean, like, I think it does have a campiness to it, and like looking back on it, it's like fun to watch it and be like, that was fucking stupid. And like, I don't think to the extent that I enjoy Sonic Underground in that same way, but I think there is like a quality to it that's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But thinking back on it and like hearing some like other people talk about it and like seeing like not documentaries but like the special features about it basically was like that show was completely made to sell toys. Like it was like just like the G.I. Joe and the Barbie and stuff like that.
It's very
like,
true.
They made toys and then they made a show around the toys.
That's
like,
so true.
They didn't care, and I can't even hold that against them because like you know like there were comic books and stuff which I'm kind of catching up with right now, which like were really good, and they weren't like that. You know, the show was literally just made to sell toys, and I guess I can't really fault them for that. But yeah, show's fucking shit.
I agree from what I've seen.
I'm sorry, I'm just very passionate about Ninja Turtles. It's the one thing I have left.
But since I have you here,
I have a literal captive audience. Actually, I don't. You can click off anytime. Let's talk about the next thing.
No, don't.
Don't leave. I'll miss you. Henry, why don't you bring up the next thing? Just cap us off.
The next one is very fun, very awesome. This one has been since elementary school, which is great. I remember in Lem's locker, in your elementary school locker, you would have these books just like chilling. You would always have them, like in the bottom of your locker or something, and I would always have them in my backpack. And honestly, I didn't even think of this. We're kind of the characters in this book if you think about it to an extent.
So.
It's the hit book series Captain Underpants.
Captain fucking Underpants. Oh my god.
I honestly didn't even think of that. We kind of are George and Harold. Like
completely, yeah.
Like we're our only friends. We're like.
That's not the aspect I was thinking of.
Oh, I guess also like we turned our principal into a superhero.
Except he was like a balding man, and that was real life, so he got arrested.
Yeah,
that was a shame.
Nice guy.
Good guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Bad rap. Yeah. I'm trying to find a way to attack this because like we both loved the book series growing up.
Yeah, we read them all. Yeah.
Read them all. Well, I mean, I didn't read them all. We read up until like, because I think they went up until.
It was kind of like a
last year,
generational thing. Like, yeah, we read it up to like at our book fair, we would always get them. I remember we'd buy them at the book fair and stuff. Yeah.
Oh god, that was amazing. And like, I remember how I got the first Captain Underpants book too. We had a Secret Santa in first grade, and there was this kid Dylan, and I remember little to nothing about Dylan except for the fact that his Secret Santa to me was like this Captain Underpants book that was like a collector's edition. It had like a reflective cover, and then you would like turn it and they would move, and I was like, oh, sick. And I remember reading it and being like, this is brilliant. What? Yes, what? Wait, what? It was so good. Oh my god. I mean,
It's
like,
the Fliporama was. It's a masterpiece. It's a one-of-a-kind, unique thing.
I flipped back through one of the books recently, or before the movie came out, because the movie, we'll talk about the movie in a little bit, but I flipped back through the book recently, and I was like, did I really just like these just because they were like barf and poop and blah, 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 blah. And I remember, like, pretty much the only things that were like gross out humor were the names. It was like Captain Underpants, the Wicked Wedgie Woman, Professor Poopy Pants.
Yeah,
they were all just devices, basically.
Yeah, they never were like fart as like a tagline. I remember one of the funny, like, that's where I first heard the joke, like, oh well, it can't get any worse than this, and then it would rain.
Right. Oh my god. And they were actually like really funny. They would like talk about, I guess I didn't even pick up on it as a kid, but they would like talk about how like schools were underfunded. There was this one part where Principal Krupp went to prison, and it was like they told him when to go to the bathroom, and they made him stay in this one room for a really long time, and the cafeteria food was really bad, and it was all terrible. It was essentially just like the elementary school he ran, but with more funding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and those books were just such a big part of our childhood. So when the movie came out, we were both really excited for the movie.
I remember, like, when I first saw the trailer, I was a little nervous.
I was hesitant.
Because, like, with most things, where it's like you really like something and they're gonna make a movie out of it, you're kind of like, you're protective of it, obviously. So, like, I remember Love and I were talking about it, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the animation style. I don't know, like, where they're gonna go with it. Like,
the writer of it, or not the writer of the movie, but the books, Dave Pilkey, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He was also very protective of it. Like, they've been trying to get this movie off the ground for like a while, and like he was very protective of it. So I'm glad he was heavily involved.
Yeah, and I mean, again, for those of you who haven't seen it, you need to see it, but such a funny movie.
That movie's actually really funny. Like, I love that movie. It's really funny.
It's super good. I think it's hilarious.
I love, like, every character in it. Okay, I like Ed Helms, but I swear to God, Captain Underpants is the role Ed Helms was born to play. Like, he switches from Principal Krupp to Captain Underpants so well, and both voices work. For, like, a lot of the characters in that movie, I was like, it's kind of like that with, like, every animated movie where it's like, okay, it's just a celebrity doing a voice. Like, I could hear that in Kevin Hart. Not really in Thomas Middleditch, but I didn't know him that well, so
Neither did I,
that's
yeah.
why. But I was like, okay, Nick Kroll, Jordan Peele, I was like, okay, I get it, the people doing that. I didn't think about Ed Helms once when I heard him as both Principal Krupp and Captain Underpants. I was like, how are you so good at this?
He honed the character. He
did.
He got into it, man. He was the right call. I agree.
He absolutely was. I don't know if he had to audition for that part, but it was phenomenal. It was like really good.
It's just there was so many clever lines. They did some fun like animation things.
That's such a good movie. Like I feel like I don't even think it's nostalgia for me because I haven't read the Captain Underpants books in so
No, like
long.
that's the thing too. There was such a gap. Like we just saw that movie last year, and we had stopped reading the book since probably elementary school. So
even if there were like a bunch of references that we just like missed out on, we wouldn't have gotten them. We would have missed them. Like,
yeah.
It was just a fun movie. I want to tell a little story about that movie actually. That movie came out the exact same weekend as Wonder Woman, and Henry and I had went to go see Wonder Woman on Thursday night, and then we went to go see Captain Underpants the next night. And Thursday night was, we watched Wonder Woman, good movie. And then the next night we went to our local theater for the first night for Wonder Woman. We went to go to one of the fancy theaters.
Yeah.
To treat ourselves.
Yep.
And also I ran out of money for that month. But the next night we went to go see Captain Underpants. I had to sneak in because I didn't have any money. And we went to our local theater. And we saw a bunch of people we knew there. We saw some people from high school. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. And we were all walking out at the same time. And we were like, oh, cool, what'd you guys go see? And they were like, oh, we went to go see Wonder Woman. It was really good. And they were like, what'd you guys go see? I'm like,
yeah, no, well, actually, so we saw Wonder Woman yesterday. Yeah, but what'd you guys see tonight? Yeah, well, And we told them. We said
Straight up
we
told them.
we're like, yeah, we went to go see Cats in Underpants, and they were kind of like, oh, and we're like, it was good.
It was good. And I have no qualm saying that. I feel like anyone can see that movie and be like, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, just up yours. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know why you hate fun.
Why are you the worst?
I mean, here's the thing, right? If it's not like art or like high art or whatever, like I get that. It's Captain Underpants. I had so much fun. Like
that's
my smile was. I was always smiling throughout
Yeah.
that movie. I was like, oh,
sorry,
cool.
sorry. It's like not sophisticated and cultured for you, I guess.
Sorry,
but like,
Captain Underpants doesn't reach your art needs.
but like, yeah, it's very fun. It was just enjoyable.
All right, and with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and close off the podcast.
Tra la la.
Tra la la. I'm having a lot of fun right now, and I'm like smiling because I got to talk about a whole bunch of childhood stuff with my friend, and now I feel really good. I start work on Monday.